So, we've done pretty good. I had to call this morning and apologize to the kids on the way to school for yelling at them.
What'd you say?
Well, they're being slow and they were leaving late, and so I just said, "All right, guys, it seems like we're not going to have any screen time today after school."
Oh,
yeah. But then I was thinking, wait, now I have to entertain them.
And you just yelled a lot.
No, I didn't really yell. I was just old man in it,
Yeah.
Guys, if we don't get up early, this is everybody's affected by your actions. You gotta,
Life lessons.
Yeah. I mean, I don't understand why these little kids can't figure it out.
There's a study that just came out, and welcome DJ, by the way.
Yes, welcome.
DJ. He's the Podfather of Shreveport.
Yes.
He allowed us to use his facilities last year. And so we're glad to have you.
Yep. Good to be here.
We're going to have a good talk. But the studies just come out and said that this new generation, younger generation, is losing the trait conscientiousness. And so part of me wonders if that's just what young people are. They're just not conscientious. But supposedly the younger generation is losing that as measured. So, that comes from the big 5 personality traits, but conscientiousness is one of them, meaning I'm going to make my bed up. I'm going to take care of what I own. I'm going to, be kind of responsible in certain ways.
Yeah.
So do you think your kids are losing what you had growing up?
I did not have it. But I will say that, for me, I'd never had trouble getting up. Like my alarm went off and I just jumped up and just got up. Like there was no.
When you were growing up?
Yeah, when I was growing up. I
really?
got up. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. But out of 4 kids, they definitely all have their strengths and weaknesses, I would say.
Okay. DJ, what about you? Always an early riser?
Always. Yeah.
Always.
I can go to bed at midnight or 2 a.m. and I'm going to get up at 6 at the latest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how it works. I don't know.
And so let's be clear here. DJ is a real entrepreneur. Yes. How many ventures are you in right now?
Technically, we have 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Red Wolf Media is kind of my main hobby, I would say. I wouldn't say it's a full-fledged successful business all the way around yet. I mean, we do great and we have a lot of good clients, but I'm not where you guys are at yet. You know what I mean? I'm still in the infancy stages of everything, I think. But yeah.
Yeah, if you're still trying to figure it out, you're definitely where I am.
Yeah.
So every day.
Yeah, that, and then we have Mammoth Equipment Rental. Me and another partner have that, and then we have Pork and Fork. And there's 2 legs to that. We have the catering side, and then we have the meal prep side. So all of those keep me pretty busy. Kind of juggling all of those every day. Being the president or whatever you want to call it of each company on a daily basis, it kind of goes all over the place. So.
But that's not all.
Podcast too, of course.
Yeah, and so the name of the pod is
Frequency Interrupted.
Frequency.
Yeah, so that was I think before we started our podcast, DJ, you were the only one that I knew of that had a podcast.
Yeah, so I started in 2019. You were on early on when I started, and man, it's funny because I started it thinking that I was going to grow business connections, which inherently I have, but it was going to be more of a business-driven podcast, and it swiftly changed into something just more lifestyle.
Yeah.
And it's I've had a wide range of guests coming up on almost 250 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's still funny is like, because people, I'll run into somebody and they'll say, oh, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, oh, yeah, Busy Smalls. They're like, no, you were on there with some guy with tattoos. And I was like, oh, wait, DJ. I was like, oh, well, I have my own podcast,
No, what episode is this? So
for us, 68.
Look, so you guys
68.
Yeah, so you're plugging away.
Yeah. We're blowing through it.
That's been my biggest thing is y'all are shooting almost 2 a week sometimes, huh?
When it's going.
Yeah. So like I'm trying to just steadily always have 1 a week. Just running these businesses and trying to fit that in every single week is just kind of my objective. Minimally 1 a week, sometimes 2 a week. And I get really frustrated if I lose momentum, and miss a week or 2.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I'm never going to get to 500. It's going to take a couple more years. Just thinking of it that way, I'm like, I really want to get to 1,000. That's 5 more years away, maybe.
Yeah. How do you decide who you want to have on?
Man, that's a good question. Everyone asks me that. I just whoever I'm interested in. Some people refer, like once I trust people who actually listen to the show and reach out and refer people. I do have a lot of people reach out just wanting to plug their businesses, and if they do that, I already inherently know that that's not a good guest for me, because that's not what my podcast is about. It's more about just hanging out and kind of hearing their story, and and the range is, insane. From combat veterans to attorneys to I've had some recent people on. I'm not going to mention it yet because shows aren't out, but just a wide range of people.
Yeah. No, it's very cool, because I think the first time we sat down, that's how I kind of looked you up, and I saw the podcast. I was like, this guy's doing this podcast. That's kind of cool. Like, what? Tell me about that. And I was like, so how does that go? And DJ was just like, I like to ask questions. And he kind of like stone faced me, and I was like, all right, cool, man. He likes to ask questions.
It's that simple, man. I feel like if I am in any way like attracted to someone, like as far as wanting to have a conversation with them, I feel like I can hold it for an hour.
Yeah.
Or if I'm just looking people up and I'm like, this would be a good person, and I'm like, yeah, we can do that. There's no vetting list or anything, and it's not like you have to have any requirements. I've had people on who have no following, what I mean? And I have people on who have hundreds of thousands of following,
Yeah. We, I was talking to DJ a couple of months ago. I was trying to get some of my companies and sales guys into some networking groups. And I was like, DJ, we used to do networking events every night. We were attending something. I was like, what's going on? And I was like, why is there no networking around here? And he was like, well, we were the ones putting them all on. And so that's what we really did. Like in 2000,
17, 18, 16, 17, 18. We were hard at it, but that was hard at it. You were growing your businesses. I was trying to transition into marketing.
Well, we went to, I went to a BNI group. It was my first BNI group to attend, and it was the one DJ was going to. And it just kind of resonated with me, just kind of how the structure is and my personality. And then, because I had done some networking things before, but it wasn't high accountability. So like it would be, a couple of good weeks, people would show up and then people would stop coming, and, and so, but BNI provided some structure to it, but it was high relational. And so I told DJ, I was like, well, I'm in real estate. I was like, I'm going to join a BNI group. And he was like, well, man, there's like 6 groups, but these realtors have been in there for 10 years. Like, there's no way you're going to get a seat as a realtor. So I was like, well, I'm just going to start my own. Yeah. And everybody was like, oh, yeah, well, people have been trying to start their own. We have this one guy, they would have a weekly interest meeting. And this one, he was actually a real estate guy, would show up every single week. Every month they would have an interest meeting, and he would show up every month trying to start a BNI group, and you had to have 10. And so I called the lady up. I said, well, when's the next interest meeting? And she said, it's actually tomorrow. And then we do it every month. So I showed up, and it was just me and her. And I said, what do I need to do to start a group? She said, well, you need minimum of 10 professionals. I was like, all right, when's the next meeting? She said, in 30 days, it's in a month. And so I got with DJ. We started coffee shopping, interviewing people. We showed up to the next interest meeting with, I think, 15 applications with checks. Yeah. Like, it's like $600, and so then we went from there. So that was we started, they kind of teach you on BNI. They're like, well, don't really start doing business. You need to recruit people, and then it's like a 6-month process to launch a group. Well, we were like, no. So we just started holding our own meetings in coffee shops until BNI, because you have to go through training and select officers, all kinds of stuff. So anyway, we end up launching I would say it's probably about 6 months from our very first meeting. Yeah. We launched officially with 40 plus members. I
want to say 42.
42 members.
Which was like a record.
It was a record. They called us something. What was it? The Hollywood
gold
something
or
gold or something. Yeah. They called it. Yeah. What was it? It was some kind of award we won.
Yeah.
I can't remember either. Anyway, so we were like the largest chapter.
Landmark chapter or something like that?
I don't know. We were like the largest chapter to ever start. Then on our launch day, we invited people, and it was packed. I mean, it was
like 80 people.
Yeah, it was almost 100 people in this room. And so anyways, it was pretty cool. It was great. And, that really, at the time, it was me. I was an independent real estate agent, and I had an assistant. and that was it. And within the next 12 to 18 months, I launched Berkshire Hathaway, and it really came from a lot of those connections in that B&I group. So, and that group's still going.
Yeah, I'm the president of it now.
He's the president of the group.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, a lot of irons in the fire, man. No, it's crazy. I don't even, now that you just laid that all out, I'm like, dang, we did do a lot of stuff, man.
We did a lot. Oh yeah.
We did a lot of stuff together, but it's been crazy to see it transform. And then going through COVID with all that networking fell off, and then trying to reestablish professional connections and business networking after that. It's been interesting.
Yeah. I would call someone who, because I was in real estate, so I had a cleaning lady, a yard guy, all the people. So I call them, I'd say, hey, I'm starting a networking group. And they're like, oh, well, networking group really isn't for me. I said, okay, well, I'm going to start calling all the other cleaning ladies that I know. And if they get in the group, they're getting my business. And they're like, okay, we'll join. He's
strong-armed a lot of people in there, but hey, those people are still in there.
No, and what's crazy about it, because Kim, she became the area director.
Yeah.
And then I remember like Parnell doing the yards, like within 6 months, he's like, dude, I got to get out of this. I have too much business. And I'm like, oh no, let's work on scaling it. Yeah. But yeah, it's pretty, it's good stuff. So yeah, I still, networking, like if I ever get back in a situation where I need to immediately boost sales, that's my number one avenue, is doing some kind of networking.
Yeah, I think it's been the most successful. I mean, I looked at the numbers. I was telling someone yesterday, these people that come in, they think you're trying to scam them, or it's multi-level marketing when they visit these groups, I'm like, look, man, it attested for like 67% of my business this year,
Well,
referrals out of relationships I made in B&I over the past 10 years.
Yeah. And when someone comes in, I mean, you can, within 30 seconds of them coming in, if they're visiting or wanting to join the group, if they're there to really build a business relationship, or if they're there to sell their product that day. Yeah. I mean, you can tell pretty quick.
Yeah. And they weed themselves out quickly. We're more like, hey, if you're not in it to win it for everyone, then this is not the place for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I got invited to one of them one time, and they didn't tell me that I had to like get up and speak, whatever. Yeah. So right before, they're like, oh yeah, you got to get up and talk for a few minutes. And I was like, what? Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah, I do that to all my guests. I don't tell them they have to talk. I'm like, hey, you want to show up? I want to come visit, and I'll buy your lunch, come visit and hang out. And you can just, all I tell them is they have to just say who they are and what they do.
Well, what's crazy is a couple things. One, being in those networking groups, and you're in there with, 30, 40-year-old professionals, and they're so nervous to speak, and some have never spoken in front of people.
Yeah.
And they literally are scared to go speak in front of people. But then what was cool about it is you would see them come in the group being so nervous, shaking, and then 3, 4, 5 months down, their confidence is just built, and now they're up there giving a 10-minute speech. And
that was me, man. When I visited the first one, I was scared to death. I was like, because I come from oil and gas, where you go talk to someone one-on-one, establish a relationship that way. You're not speaking to a group of people.
Yeah, it's probably not a polished conversation.
Most definitely not. Most definitely not. Not as polished as most people hear me publicly. But I couldn't stand up and speak without being nervous. And we were meeting in the in Cheesecake Bistro at the time in the morning. So I'd pull in the parking lot, in the parking garage. I'd get there 30 minutes earlier. Our meeting started. That's the group you visited when I first was in it before we moved. I think our meeting started at 8 or 8:30. I would get there 30 minutes early and sit in my car and like rehearse what I was going to say, because I was so nervous, because you have to recite 60 seconds every week. And man, it's insane to think about now, that just the transition. But if not for doing that and forcing myself to do that, I wouldn't be able to do anything I do now.
Yeah, I think that the shift, and this is something I was able to pick up on, is when you're networking, really it even goes into your database, or you want to call it your sphere of influence, or whatever you want to call it. You're not trying to get their business. You're trying to get their endorsement.
For sure.
Right. So, I mean, if, I always kept my database at 100 households. Well, I can have a decent, relationship with 100 households in a given year. Anything more than that, I can't. Jesus had 12 friends. Right? He was really only good with 3 of them. So 100, I can remember their names and keep up with them on Facebook. Right. So, but out of those 100 people, like if I'm just taking real estate, for instance, well, 5% of those people are going to buy or sell a house in a year. Well, that's 5 houses. I can't live off of commission on 5 houses, right? But each one of those household represents probably access to 300 other people. Right. Yeah. So now that 100 turns into me having access to 30,000 people in the market. Now, 5% of that I can make a decent wage off of. Yeah. So that's just the way you have to kind of view it. Is I always just said, in my database, I don't want any of them. If they use me to buy or sell a house, that's great. But their value is them telling me, telling their coworkers or family about me.
Yeah. Yeah. So this has turned into basically a B&I commercial, which is
holy crap!
Which
I didn't see that coming.
But I think it's important for a lot of reasons. As we're talking about business and growing a business and small business, I mean, ultimately, these are the touchstones of what really make it work, right? The relational aspect of the difference between using Red Wolf versus major marketing company that no one knows based out of Ohio, right? There's a tangible difference between knowing you and just going, I'm going to use, X marketing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I always say that we take the boutique approach to working with any individual, and just you get access to me, and that might not seem much, but another thing I do with anybody I'm working with is inherently I connect you with all of my connections too, and that's something most people don't do in my industry. They're just looking at bottom line. Unfortunately, I always have to look at the bottom line as a business owner, but I leave a lot on the table, making sure that I'm representing someone the right way. And even though they may not be the highest paying client, it's more like, hey, let's grow with them, instead of just making money off them initially and then not seeing them through the process, getting the ROI and then keeping them, as a customer or client.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, and I think that talking about the networking, what I found in business is, especially early on, you have people that are wired. There's one type of person who is going to have all their systems in place and have their product ready to roll, but the phone's not ringing. And then you have some people that just have this knack to get the phone to ring and people to trust them, but then after the order's placed, it's just chaos, right?
You're exactly right. I work with both types of those companies.
so that's really, and that's really, one is just self-awareness, right? But then what I found is, there's so many companies, especially locally, that have a good product and they're hard workers and they have their stuff together and they have great. And I'll hear them say, well, if I could just get the phone to ring, right? And so that's where that's where I think the networking for me and my personality came in to, just working those relationships. It was, because other than that, now you're abdicating your lead sources, right? And so in real estate, people are depending on Zillow. A lot of companies are depending on the Google platform. Well, the problem with that is, one, where Zillow used to maybe take 5% of your profit, now they're taking 50%, right? So just to generate leads for you. And then Google, it costs, we're paying $75 a lead on Google, right? Yeah. And that's without us even converting anything. So the problem with that is those companies can change in an instant, right? They can change their algorithm. They can change who they're going to let in, let out. They can change, even like Facebook. I remember Facebook used to be free. You would just post something, everybody would see it.
Well, people get upset when you start having to pay for it. And at the end of the day, it's become a business.
It's become a business.
But I think you have to have your buckets all need to be equally distributed. You know what I mean? You need to be doing your work in networking, and creating a referral base. That's going to be organic. And then you need to be doing your work in advertising. And then you need to be training your employees on how to advocate for the business too. Not only as sales, but just as a representative, because that's everyone is attached to, everyone is an influencer now. If you think about it, you really are, because everything you're putting out, you're representing yourself or the business you're working with, and training someone on how to do so
that's a good point. I've been telling that to some of my, the trade companies too. Is hey, whether, if you're a technician or you're doing the AR or the payables, everybody's a salesman. I want them to wear that lens all weekend when they're at church, wherever they're at. Yeah. Is there a strategic way that y'all do that?
Well, before we go into that, I want to mention this line that I've heard a few times lately that I really think is just so true now. And that is, let me get this right. It's from an economist, so it's going to be real.
Oh gosh.
It's really highfalutin, but it is, attention is the commodity that is scarce. Attention is the commodity that is scarce. In our society, we live in a very rich society. We have consumer goods out the wazoo. We have so many look at this room. It's just filled with just like trinkets and just, there's so many of these things. Like you could never buy enough of them, right? They're not going to run out of Wolverine figurines, okay? We're not going to run out of food. We're not going to run out of, you name it. The commodities are there, okay? Plenty of commodities. What is the one thing that's scarce now? Attention. Yep. Because the problem is that I could write 1 million songs now through AI and put them all out tomorrow, but you would never have the bandwidth to even listen to maybe one of them. So when you think about attention being the commodity that is scarcest right now, it puts us in this game theory situation where we're all just constantly vying for people's attention. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm going to go back to networking now, because social media is so saturated with the most beautiful, perfect, scripted messaging that comes in your feed that for DJ to compete, for you to compete, for me to compete, it's very difficult. The only way we can do that is through frequency. Like, here I am, here I am, here I am, here I am, right? Mm-hmm. Does that even work? So it's almost like you have to have that, your buckets balanced. The networking comes back into play because it's real life relationships now that are almost what they call meat space, like in real life. Mm-hmm. It's like these things are becoming more premium because in the online world, in the metaverse, it's so hard to make noise. And it used to be easy, right? I remember with MySpace, with our band had 30,000 followers. Every time I put something out, 30,000 people saw that, right? And you know where I'm going with this. I know exactly where you're going, Now you can have 500 followers on Facebook and you can put something out and 2 of them might see it. Yeah.
I would have you in my top 8.
Would you?
Yeah. I didn't know you back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Top 8 was fun. Top 8 was fun. But the point being is that, you know, if when it comes to social media and making all this noise, they're charging you for that noise.
Oh, yeah.
DJ, you told me, man, if I want people to listen to my podcast, I got to boost it. It's like you're at a slot machine. You're just constantly putting in money.
Yeah. You gotta, I mean, well, you're day trading attention, and I didn't coin that. That's from Gary Vee. If you listen, he's a lot more animated than me, but we align a lot on a lot of things, all things marketing. But you're day trading attention, and it's like you have to be constantly worried about it. It's just like looking at your stocks. You know what I mean? You're essentially doing that.
Well, the companies though, what they did, Facebook. Priceline, is it Priceline where you do what is that one? Where you do booking? Is that what it's called?
Price? That sounds right. Yeah, it's got like William Shatner.
Kaylee Cuoco. So what they've done is they've made all of these industries dependent on their platform. Then they just start charging them.
Yeah.
And so now they don't really have a choice.
Google.
A hotel doesn't have a choice. Google, yes, they don't have a choice.
It's genius, but and what's funny is we've seen before and we've seen after. So we know how to, I feel like we know how to balance the scale.
Yeah. So to me, it always comes back to what can I control? And I can control a relationship. I can control how many times I call someone. I can control how many times I visit somebody. I can control that aspect of things. Also, what I found is when my business is primarily based off of my database or referrals, my costs go way down to acquire a customer.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we have agents, going back to real estate, we have realtors spending, 5 digits a month in Zillow leads. And I didn't spend that much in a whole year in marketing. Mm-hmm. I mean, I might have a $200 budget that consisted of $5 Starbucks gift cards for people's birthdays.
Yeah.
Like that was mine. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, when you build a relational business, like people want to help people that they know and like, right? And that was always my thing is the people in my database needed to know me. I needed to know them and we needed to like each other. Like that was my prerequisite. That was my requirement.
Yeah.
So if they didn't like me or they didn't know whatever, then they weren't in my database. So
I heard this one time, DJ, I'll get you to weigh in on it. This was, I'll call him a friend, but he's more than a friend. And I was explaining to him how to grow relationships with people. I was like saying, hey, because he's very like numbers and fixed computers and really good at all that stuff. not so much on the relational side. It's just not what comes natural to him. So I said, okay, look, so here's a formula for you to grow a relationship. Okay, it's 3 things. All right, it is the frequency of the communication, the duration of the communication, and the level of depth of the communication. So text message, way up here, okay? Phone call, here. Face-to-face, here. And the difference between me texting you, DJ, the information that can be transmitted versus us just sitting down together one-on-one, talking, spending time with each other. I see your facial expressions. I see what you're reacting to. I see it's so much more depth of communication than just a text message or an email or just a phone call, right? So frequency, duration, depth of communication. Put those 3 things together, and that's how you grow a relationship, right? You can't grow a relationship with somebody just over text. It's just not going to happen. No. So does that resonate with you as I'm kind of talking through that?
I mean, yeah, 100%. I think I've never looked at it that way, but I completely agree. I feel like, man, it's just interesting how quick relationships can form once you just take that extra step, past, like, it's first I'm guilty of this, of giving people too much access to me. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Where, like, maybe the professional relationship starts via email. And the next thing you know, well, hey, man, it's easier to catch me on text because I got a lot going on, doing this and that, just text me. And the next thing you know, well, it's something urgent. I'm going to call you real quick. And before you know it, then we're sitting down discussing things. And it's really organically how it happens. It's funny that you tier it that way, but it is the case with me a lot, with anyone that I have a professional relationship with, for sure.
Or you can think about, like, growing up, like if you went on a trip with somebody, and you ended up spending a week with them, like how you come away from that trip just on a totally different relational
you come back
level.
Come back to school, and then you just know them way better. And just
So I used to always ask, what 10 years ago when I was doing sales is what can I be doing that nobody else is doing? So, like, we would do things like pop buys, go visit people at their house and bring them a little gift. Or a big one for me, which still is huge today, is handwritten notes. I mean, I can still think right now of the last 3 or 4 handwritten notes I've gotten, and it's been over like a span of 5 years, right? But nobody gets any personalized mail anymore, right? And it resonates, and that's so easy to do. In fact, one of the notes I got was from your dad. He did a handwritten note.
Well, there you go. He didn't know how to use email. So.
Yeah. So, but what I say today, fast forward 10 years, it's so easy. Like, what nobody else is doing now is just calling people. They're sending text messages.
It's different. I was going to say, it's like, if you give someone just a generation under us a handwritten note, they're not going to see any value in it.
Yeah. But just even a phone call, just even, and that's why I tell my guys that they're so afraid to call people. And I just say, just call and say, hey, is there anything I can do to help you? Like, nobody's ever been offended by somebody calling from a place of service.
Are you talking about, like, are we talking cold calls?
No, it can be people just anybody.
Gotcha.
Hey, how are things going?
Following up or something?
Hey, I have some time this week. Is there anything I can do to help you? Is there anything I can do to support your business? Is there anything I can do? I'm in the real estate world. Anything I can do to help? Like that, just offering that, right, is just huge, and nobody's going to get offended by that. Now, would I get bothered if somebody said, "Hey, I got this new powder, the energy drink powder, and I'm trying to build a team, and and I'm like, hey, I gotta go.
Man, there's people that are in our shared network that I still get requests for, and I feel bad to ignore, but I can't entertain it at this point anymore. You've transitioned businesses so many times, and you're sending me these requests to, I know you're into working out. I have this new product. I'm just.
Yeah. I know. I go back and forth because I respect the hustle with some of these people, and I think that some of them are trying to. The question is someone trying to find their niche, like what resonates with them and they like doing, or are people trying to find an easy and quick path to money and success?
Well, right? Typically that. I got a quick story. So we had someone visit a networking group a couple last month maybe, and they were invited by someone. Well, this person that invited them didn't really vet them that well. They are selling publication sponsorships pretty much. What I don't know what magazine it is, but anyways. Came in, visited the group, acted like they were going to be interested in like actually joining and participating. Then within the same week started calling, got everyone's card out of the binder we share and started physically calling and arranging, we call them one-to-ones, and pitching it that way. And then locking these people into pretty much a sales pitch for 30 minutes. And it happened to like 6 members. And they were calling me and blowing me up. I was like, I mean, there's nothing you can do but just say, I'm sorry, this is not how we do business. But it's what you mentioned earlier. Like I don't know if it's they're young, hungry, and aggressive, or I really just think it's they don't know how to approach people.
It's all that happened to me once. An old buddy from school was like, "Hey, let's go grab lunch." I was like, "All right," and then like 10 minutes before I get there, he's like, "Hey, I invited my boss. Hope you don't mind." And I'm like, "Oh crap." Well, no, how this is going to go.
This reminds me of the prophet that's certainly had his personal share of issues. His name rhymes with Schmiederson, but he says that the goal should be to play iterative games with people. And so what he's saying is that if you come into a situation as a kid on the playground with other kids and you invite them into your game and you've rigged all the rules and you just destroy them, you beat them, they're going to walk out basically saying, well, forget this. I'm never playing with this kid again. And so what you want is to create a scenario where throughout your whole life, you're just playing iterative games with people, them knowing that they could trust you and that, you may win one, you may lose one, but there's a spirit of fair play there. And so I'm going to feel good about playing a game with you, DJ, down the road, because my experience with you, our first time that we got together and worked and negotiated and did a deal was fair. Mm-hmm. And so I think that person right there is thinking they've created that rigged game and they're pulling everybody in and everybody's going, I'm done with this person. Yeah. I'm not coming back into this circle with them again. I think that makes a lot of sense though.
Yeah. I think that you can tell when someone's chasing a paycheck.
Yeah.
Versus, actually trying to help or wanting to build a relationship or wanting to a win-win scenario.
If you're experienced, I agree, but there's a lot of people that are blind. They're blind to that because they haven't been in that scenario yet. Because case in point, 6 different people got catfished into a meeting when I would have saw a red flag immediately. You know what I mean? But it's a matter of experience and time. And another cheat code we didn't mention about networking is cross marketing. You and I did that a lot.
Oh yeah.
And Josh and I do that too on events and stuff. And that's something that's helped grow my personal brand, which then transitions to whatever business I'm going to open or start or run. Mm-hmm. People trust me because I've cross marketed with enough people on events or sponsorships or what have you, that it's created and established a connection that can be passed on, and you can take advantage of each other's networks.
And speaking of Facebook or social media, that helps a ton.
Yeah,
because once you start cross branding, even this episode, we're going to make your podcast a co-sponsor of the episode, right? And so then it's or a co-host of the episode, and then
this should be one of your episodes, man. What are we doing?
Put it on your feed. Let's do it. Hey, okay. So let me ask you this: we haven't had this conversation before. Why? What got you into the catering?
Oh, it's funny. So we were a friend of mine, mutual friend of ours, Brian Meeker, and you know Brian as well now. We were hanging out, met via business networking, and hanging out and started cooking at golf tournaments just to meet people and to network. It's a great way to meet business professionals, oil and gas.
Give them a sausage link.
Yeah, man. Hang out. They're drinking beer, talking, shooting the crap. Anyways, so I started doing that constantly, and then COVID hit, and we really saw a plunge in new business growth in my industry, in marketing. And I was like, man, I can do this and make a little bit of money on the side. And my wife was like, look, I was also doing it a lot. She was like, look, let's just buy you a barbecue pit, and because I was borrowing people's stuff and just cooking for people, cooking for friends, family, or whatever, for free. She's like, let's just buy you a barbecue pit, and you're doing this every weekend anyways for free. Why don't you make some money? So she's kind of my cheerleader on that. And I commend her. I give her all the credit all the time for that. But and then, it just transitioned. I started leveraging my network. And here we are now. This will be the 4th year of business. And man, I have, if I told you the amount of money that one little trailer that we spent $2,500 on has made, it would blow your mind. Yeah. And then it's transitioned to building a full scale catering rig that's worth over $100,000 that it's fully functional and I can feed up to 1,000 people.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think that I was just throwing out sausage links to 10 people at a golf course.
Yeah. So so y'all do you enter competitions?
So I only do one competition now, and it's Hogs for the Cause, and it's just because I'm passionate about it. But we do one a year. I don't compete in anything else because I feel like I'm constantly putting on competitions. So for me to compete in one, it needs to be a higher tier, because it wouldn't look right for me to be competing in local stuff. So I do that, and it's fun, and it's a way to get, it's a huge give back too.
Yeah. Well, one of the things we talk about on here, me and Josh are on a Magnolia Pit kick.
Okay.
We love going to the Magnolia Pit.
Yeah.
And they started as a food truck. Now they have like a brick and mortar thing. Yeah. And it's always packed in there. He's
a great chef too. He's been in the chef game for well over, I feel like 20 years.
I think of Key Mexico. I think of Fat Calf. Mm-hmm. Like all these started as food trucks, kind of doing, catering or whatever.
Man, I was working all week, and I was going to Bonnie and Clyde trade days. I don't know if you know this place, but it's a smaller camp, pretty much. It's revitalized. I would go there, and I'd have to get up, and I'd cook all night Friday night. I'd go there and sling whatever barbecue I had all day Saturday. I'd go home, go to sleep, come back Sunday and do it again. And I might make, over the course of a weekend, $500 to $600. And that was a win for me. Mm-hmm. Now, man, it's just crazy
catering.
To think. Yeah. It's just crazy to think now, like how that is compounded, but it was just constantly just continuing to push through. And honestly, we needed the extra money, so it was like any extra money I can make on the weekends, great. I mean, thinking about it now is crazy, because I mean, I don't want to roll out of bed for, $500. You know what I mean? Right. But it's no discouragement to anyone, but it's because I have so much overhead now.
Yeah. Do you envision it ever turning into a brick and mortar?
If I was presented the perfect opportunity, which I've had conversations, and if that ever opens up, then yes, I will say yes. But am I chasing that? No. I'm building a team on both sides of the fence, on the marketing side and on the catering side. And I've assembled a team now where I have multiple chefs that I can trust. The only way I would open a brick and mortar is if I had someone to run it, because I refuse to run a restaurant. I just don't want to. I don't want to. I live and breathe it down there where I'm at, and I see what that looks like. And I don't want to be the one running it.
Yeah. Right. One of the things you mentioned earlier is y'all collaborating, but you do a lot with charity events, nonprofits, and I know Ivy's is putting on some stuff.
Yeah. So that's right. So we did our fourth. Wait, we'll back up to the thing we started with.
Yes.
So we did our fourth Heart and Hardware festival, and so that was just birthed by sitting down with DJ and talking about. There was a store in Kentucky somewhere that has one of the greatest events that everybody in our industry talks about, Egg Fest in Lexington, maybe, or something like that. And they have hundreds of people that come to this thing. So I was like, DJ, I love barbecue, man. I want to do something like that. And so these conversations we started having, and it's like, well, why don't we do a barbecue cook-off and then do it as a fundraiser for a couple local charities, which we'll give other shout out to Unite Ministries, that's here in town, that deals with foster families, and then House of Grace in Halton, which serves as a place that when girls age out of the foster home and they have nowhere to go, 18 years or something like that, I think it's right, 18 years old, they give them life training and kind of help set them up to get into the next phase of their life. So we love those two local nonprofits because they're doing really good work in our community. But we wanted to have some fun with stuff we love and then support those nonprofits. And so DJ has been a huge help in helping to put together those events. We're starting a new one in the new store Blanchard, which is steak and wings.
Yeah.
And we're just trying to get it on its feet. So, but yeah, this is all DJ's help in putting this together and the marketing piece of it, and just trying to tie, we talked about brand before, but just trying to tie our brand as cemented in the community as people that are trying to improve where we are. And so that's why it's important to us. And also I love barbecue. So it's kind of a steak and fun
it ties
thing
directly into your industry.
Like
you know what I mean? If you can find some way to bring multiple parties together, like I was talking about earlier in cross marketing, where you're getting the benefit of people exposure to your business, but you're also supporting the community and you're giving people something to do in an area where there's not a lot to do, and then bringing food into it, and then literally correlates directly to grill sales or just getting people there's a lot of benefit to that. And then I get the benefit of just creating more relevance in the barbecue space, right?
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for everyone. And those opportunities are what I'm constantly trying to create. It's like, hey man, there's no bad branding. You know what I mean? When it comes to things like this, for me, and it's like, the more we do, the more people are like, oh, well, hey man, if I need to do something like this, we're going to call this guy.
Yeah.
And I mean,
there's a really good book. I can't remember the author. They actually have a podcast, the husband and wife, but it's called Unbranding is the book. And, it's just great. It's a great book, but the concept is just, what you are talking about is a way to increase your branding, but you're not actively marketing. Yes.
Yeah.
You're just being present in the community and serving, and that's going to resonate with people. Right. And that is in a byproduct of that is branding your company and establishing your company and making awareness, but that's not the main focus.
Yeah. For sure.
And so it's good stuff. Yeah, man. So what's next with your catering company?
Man,
holidays are probably crazy.
Well, yeah, it's about to be insane. Yeah. So it's funny because it's for the longest time it's just been me and my wife, and then now it's funny that now that I have a team of guys who I actually work out with and work with in other businesses that are actually chefs too and have experience that really just wanted to get back into the creative side of it. They've done it in the past. So getting those guys together, man, that's the only, and it's funny because my neighbor is now he's a barbecue guy, and he just he's everything's about pork and fork. He wants the hats. He wants to hang out. He wants to help on the weekends. He's got a full-time job. So I'm like, heck yeah, dude, come make a couple $100, and he just enjoys it. So I built a team of people who really enjoy this. Yeah. So it's not like I'm just hiring a bunch of employees and just paying them for labor. Sure. I'm not paying for labor now. I'm just literally just saying, hey man, give me an opportunity to hang out, do what you like, and I'm going to pay you for it. Yeah.
Well, the weather's about to be good. We're about to enter fall. I would imagine you're going to have a lot of parties, a lot of sporting events.
I won't have a day off. I was looking at the calendar. So starting on the obvious steak and wing cook-off, which is September 20th, that day until December 29th, I have something every single Friday, Saturday, and Sunday already booked.
What is there a minimum requirement you're taking on catering?
Minimum of 30 people. I can't do office drops. It doesn't work for our business model. Minimum of 30 people all the way up to, like I said, 1,000. We'll be doing the Independence Bowl. We cooked for them last year. We're going to cook for them again this year for all the football players for both teams. And that's catering for 700 people. Yeah. And it's pretty intense. We'll be knocking that out. We'll have huge barbecue spreads, alligators, and whole hogs. It's pretty awesome. That's the exciting one. And that's literally the day after Christmas.
So
I'll be working on Christmas. Yeah.
So and I guess you're on social media.
Yeah, man. I'm on all the things. For Red Wolf, it's Red Wolf Media on Facebook, Instagram, Pork and Fork Barbecue, Facebook, Instagram, Pork and Fork Preps, Facebook, Instagram. LinkedIn is a huge platform for me too. I have all the businesses there as well as Mammoth Equipment Rental, every single one of them. And if you look me up, my professional profile is Douglas Thomas on LinkedIn and on Facebook. So yeah.
We have a few questions we've been asking our guest recently.
It's like an outro thing.
Yeah, just to get your opinion.
Okay, best meal you've had lately,
besides your own.
Man, that's a hard question.
You know what's crazy is how many people have said just what they fix at home. We need to start saying that. It can't be yours.
Yeah, it needs to be,
Best, but all right, I'll tell you the best local new restaurant I've had recently that I'm 100% rooting for. It's Orleans on Main Bistro in Minden. If you haven't taken the drive to Minden, go there. Food's phenomenal.
Orleans on Main.
Orleans on Main.
They do lunch?
They do lunch on Fridays. It's a dinner.
You know what's crazy is that's probably closer than downtown Shreveport for me, or South Shreveport.
Yeah, it is. You're going to get there in 38 minutes from your house. Or 38 from mine, probably about 42 from yours.
All right. Orleans on Main. Is it like a high end?
Yeah, or it's going to be the highest end restaurant in Minden, but it's still not. The price point.
Is it busy? You got to make a
reservation, man. Reservation suggested. But no, it's really good food. I root for those guys. I've known those guys a long time, and he's in oil and gas, and he kind of stepped out to do a passion project with his wife, and I'm rooting for him, man. But they brought a chef up from New Orleans. It's some great food.
Wow. You do a lot in Minden.
Yeah, it's funny because I was born there. Yeah. I have a network there.
Yeah.
And it's not even a.
They're trying. I mean, there's a group of people that are trying to put businesses there.
There is a huge wave of entrepreneurship coming through there, and I root for them, man. I really
That's
do.
cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, so this is a funny question. Shreveport Bossier, if there was anything you can do to change it, what would that be?
Man, I do not want to use the. Gosh, see, questions are good for me because I'm a ramble. Mm-hmm. I don't want to give the given like, lower crime or more jobs. Yeah. To do that, I really think we need some infrastructure changes. I know that's super vague, but I'm just going to leave it there.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. General infrastructure.
Yes.
All right.
Lights, roads, stoplights, stop signs.
Administration.
Okay. Human resources.
Yes. 1,000%.
Okay. Gotcha.
Municipalities.
All right. So what are you excited about coming up in your anything, business, personal life, whatever?
Man, I'm really excited for barbecue season to get back up. I feel like I've had a couple months off. Marketing's staying pretty, mainstream. But just for the weather to cool off and people to get back out and start hanging out, community and barbecue and music, stuff like that.
Yes.
I'm excited for that season approaching here in the next month.
I like it. DJ, you totally fit the bill, the profile of the guests we try to have on here, people who are actively trying to make their city a better place. Yep. Big lesson. I mean, look, getting to sit across from both of you guys, you are so good at networking and constantly developing that part of your personal identity, I think is encouraging. If anybody's out there, a young person thinking about starting a business, find a connector. Find a connector. And if you're the technician, partner with a connector. If you're a connector, find a technician. Yes. I mean, it's pretty simple, really. Mm-hmm. But so I've really appreciated that. But it's sponsor read time.
Yes, sponsors. Priority Roofing, locally owned, family-ran business specializing in residential and commercial roofing, repairs, replacements. There's no job too small. They've helped thousands of homeowners in the past several years. Call them 318-202-2123. Plumber for hire. I've actually switched to needing readers, and I don't have them on, so I'm trying to read. So I'm officially there. Yeah. So what I did is I just went to Amazon and I bought like a 10-pack for like $30 of these like +1
just
readers.
Different ones?
Yeah. So, and then I have like one by my chair at the house. I have one by my bed at the house. I have one in my truck. I have one at my desk. So I don't have to carry them. I don't have to carry them around. Okay. I just where I'm at.
You need one here.
I need one in here. All right, here we go. Plumber for hire, locally owned plumbing company specializing in residential commercial plumbing. Big job, small job, they can do it. They like to get the things within 24 hours. They're a great company. 318-709-9090. And then Clint Davis Counseling, helping people make lasting internal change for external growth and success. 318-562-6903.
Ivy's Building Materials, 3 locations, Mansfield, Halton, and Blanchard. Listen, if you go to the big box store, Home Depot and Lowe's, there's a chance you may leave feeling like a number, feeling like, hey, I'm just cattle being herded through this place. We're here to do things a little different. Like we want to help you load your lumber. Like if you make a lumber purchase with us, we will load it in your vehicle for you. You don't have to drag it across the parking lot. So we want to make that easier for you. For us, relationships is very important. We don't have 5,000 people coming into the store every day. So the people that come through, we want to make sure that we give you the best service. Try to be there for what you need rather than saying, hey, just come in and buy everything. So Ivy's Building Materials, ivylumber.com is our website. Look us up. And that's us.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks, DJ.
Thank you, DJ.
We'll do it
Thanks,
again
guys.
soon.